Alright, so gone for a walk. I think I found some St. George's mushrooms. Oh, there's quite a few actually, look at that. Wow. Right in the stingers, so didn't bring my gloves today. I'll have to kick them out of the way. Wow, there's loads. They grow in a big ring. So if you find one, we found like a little one here and up there. So yeah, if you find one, walk around in the ring and you should find more. And there we go. I'll just kick it. There we go. Look at that. Wow, that's a good one. Nice white gills. They got a smell like, they say it's mealy. It's like flour, wet pastry people say. I definitely got that. White gills. And quite a lot of flesh, only like shallow gills. And the base should not be in a sack, which it isn't. You can see they're all coming out. Get the other one. Right from the bottom, see? It's a bulbous base. You put it back. Alright, so I've been out and I've found loads of these St. George's mushrooms. But you ask yourself, are they safe to eat? Lots of stories of people going out, picking mushrooms, eating them, and then just dying because it's poison. But actually, there's more poisonous plants out there than there is mushrooms. So as long as you know what you're looking for, it should be okay. So what I've got here, I've got 2 books I use to cross-reference what I found in the wild. Also, I use an app on my phone. So, take a picture of it. You take a picture of the top, the side, the gills underneath, and you make a note of where you found them. So like for these ones, you find them in grassland, so in some grass, near trees quite often, and they grow in what they call fairy rings. So if you find like one of these, like say here, and you look around, you'll find one here, you might find one there, you might not, you might just find like a little semicircle, but they do grow in rings. So like all these things you have to think about when you're looking for mushrooms, and they'll help you identify them properly. So with these, they've got white gills, straight base, not too bulbous, like this one's the most bulbous I've seen, a little bit. You make sure they're not growing out of a sack, so it would be like encasing it like that. And with the mushrooms that grow out of a sack, they'll leave a little frilly bit around here from where it was in the sack and it's broken out. I think like death caps are the one that's commonly found, white gills, bulbous base and an egg sac. But like this one's got a slight bulbous base, the death cap's going to have like a real bulbous like that. And also different colour, like the tops of a death cap are green, and lots of other identifiers. But basically, use your books. This one's a good one, the Forager's calendar. Basically goes month by month and what you're going to find. So you go on here and you find the page for St. George's mushrooms, which comes out in, well, it's called St. George's mushroom because historically it comes out around St. George's Day, the 23rd, but from then on, for like the next month or so, you may find them, but at this point of the year, there's not really many other mushrooms around. So when you do find it, white mushroom, white gills, you're pretty much certain you found it. Then you go by the smell, and like this book tells you all of the stuff. So from this page, the season alone is an excellent indicator. So I found it end of April, beginning of May. Obviously in grassland. The second notable propriety is the habit of growing in the permanent grassland in a ring. Keep going. In maturity, it takes on a disreputable aspect. So if you look at the older ones, they look a bit more ragged, and to be honest, they all look pretty ragged today, but this was the best one I found. It's pretty neat, nice and fleshy, but it darkens to a patchy brown, so I'd say that was darkening to a patchy brown. It's got the smell, it's a floury smell apparently, or mealy, farriness is the word they use, the technical term. The gills are close together and white, which is true, and the stem is off-white when young and swollen at the base, which is like this one. So off-white, swollen at the base. There you go. And then the texture of the flesh is very dense and firm, which I can confirm it's pretty, pretty dense mushroom. And well, it needs more cooking than other mushrooms. What else have we got in here? Yeah, lots of just anecdotal stuff, little stories. This guy, it's actually a nice read because he's not just going, it's a mushroom, it's this. He's going, oh, I found it this place, and I did this and that, and I like, gives you some backgrounds and like makes you feel like you're with him sometimes. But second book I've got is this Collins Fungi Guide, and it is the most complete field guide to the mushrooms and toadstools of Britain and Ireland. So, pretty much got everything you're going to find in the UK, and loads of pictures in here. They're all drawings, which I find a bit disappointing because they're never quite as good as a photograph, in my opinion. But next to each mushroom, they've got like what it's grown on. So this one will be growing in leaf litter, a little bit of grass. This one's going to be growing with some leafy stuff. I don't know what it is there because I haven't got my glasses on. See, this one will be growing in oak, examples like that. Oh, boletes, I'll be looking for those this autumn. But yes, it's a very comprehensive book, a little hard to read, a bit dry to be honest, but once you've used the Forager's calendar, you found out what's around that time of year, so you've gone looking for it, you found it, or what you think is it. They really are floury as well, like sort of doughy, pastry, quite strong. I think the younger ones are supposed to be stronger. Yeah, so, bit of mushroom on the nose. So you go through this book, I've already marked the page. So, St. George's mushroom. On soil among grass in pastures, roadsides and other grassland. Also heathland, but often close to trees. So basically where I found these is the perfect place. Close to a few trees on grassland. Often in rings, but also trooping, rarely solitary. So it's going to be rare that you find one of these alone, so that's usually a good indicator. If you've got lots of them in a ring and they look like what you want, that's probably it. Typically spring, St. George's Day, sometimes summer and autumn also, so it's kind of always variable with the weather. Like if you have a super cold spring, like things aren't going to come out, same with like trees and blossoms and stuff. They're not going to sprout until it's warmer. So lots of environmental factors do change, but generally spring's the time they come out. And then yes, obviously summer, autumn. So say you have a cooler summer, they might be popping out then, because it's springy conditions. And the mycelium's just under the ground waiting for the right condition to pop the mushrooms out, which the mushrooms are just the fruit of the mycelium, so the mycelium's always there, just waiting for the right conditions. So now where are we here? Widespread, common, worth eating but care needed, especially collecting in summer or autumn as deadly poison. The poisonous white species of clitocybe may occur alongside. So basically gives you all the characteristics of the mushroom. Of the cap, initially, what does it say? Initially convex, then more flattened. So that's a young one. It's like that, all domed, and then this older one's flattened out. Smooth, silky, or slightly cracked. So look at these. Slight cracks here and there. So well, I can't stop smelling them. It's a mushroomy smell, but also it's just an underlying flower. It's really quite strong. It's really interesting. I've never actually tried these before, so I'm gonna cook them up later and we'll see. Often slightly wavy, which is like this, but wavy caps, kind of like, you know, definitely wavy there. And with slightly in-rolled margins, so that's these bits here, the margins, they roll in. Stem is stout, equal or tapering slightly upwards, so that's the bulbous bottom, but mostly they're straight, so perfect example of straight one there. And rather bulbous at base, again bulbous. Smooth gills, white cream, narrow and very crowded. So important thing with the mushrooms, you know, to avoid death or, well, you know, sometimes they just give you the shit. But you know, you found it in the field or woods or wherever, you found the mushroom that you were looking for, where you thought you were going to find it. It looks like you thought it was going to look, you know, like, you know, the stem, the whiteness, white gills, the smell, you know, all these identifying things. Then you cross-reference it, you know, time of year from the farmer's calendar, and then with the cross-reference with the actual fungi guide, which is, you know, precise, and then, you know, you still think you found it, but it says, you know, you could be confused with these poisonous ones. So, clitocybe, I think it's 166, I'll really check this down. There we go. These ones, you look at these and you think, right, do they look the same, you know? And then you read up on the other ones, so cross-reference all of the characteristics of these poisonous ones. Let's have a look, which sticks close to it. This one, nebularis, clouded funnel. On soil, among leaf litter, in coniferous or broad-leafed woodland. Didn't find my mushroom in woodland, so that's a giveaway. Late summer, late autumn, which again it's spring, so another giveaway that I've got the right mushroom. Initially convex, then flat, slightly depressed, but these aren't depressed in the middle, so that is a giveaway. You know, they've got this little bump still, so it's not this mushroom. You keep reading on. Slightly enrolled margin, yeah, okay. Club shape, fairly stout, fibrous, brittle. Now these aren't brittle. See, they'd snap if I put that bit of pressure on. So there we go. It is not a clouded funnel. What else? Potentially this one. On soil among grass at field edges. Okay, so that could be it. Woodland clearings, often in beech, small groups, often tufted. Autumn. There we go. It's not autumn. It's spring. Very seldom recorded. You know, that's going to be a rare mushroom. It's not often seen, so I found loads of these all together. don't think it's that one either. Oh, there's more on here. Let's have a look. Common funnel, leaf litter, broadleaf. So yeah, basically you have to check just to be sure, but I'm very certain, like 100% certain in fact, that these are St. George's through all of the descriptors where I found it, and that's what they are, St. George's. So here we are, St. George's mushrooms. Go out and have a look for your own. Make sure you identify them. I recommend getting 1 or 2 books, particularly these two, but I'll leave the links for these in fact in the description, so you can find buy your own and go on your own foraging trips. But yeah, St. George's mushrooms, supposedly very good. You know, nice meaty mushroom, lots of protein, good texture. So you get some butter and fry them up, whack some garlic in, or wild garlic if you find it. Found a bit today, but I already ate it with my dinner, so oops. Alright, so I've de-stalked my St. George's. Got some butter in the pan frothing. I'm just going to fry out a couple of bits. I'm not even going to bother cutting them. These take a little bit more cooking than normal mushrooms, so get them nice and crispy. I can soak up all that butter. Probably add garlic next time I do them, but today I'm just testing them out, make sure that my body likes them. Not tried them before, and sometimes with mushrooms, like chicken of the wood for example, it can, some people it doesn't agree with. It might be an allergy or just like some gastric distress, so basically it could give you the drops. So just try a little bit. Yeah, about a third of a mushroom's worth there. Also if it is, poison, which I'm 100% certain this one isn't. But, I think the less you ingest of a poisonous mushroom, the more likelihood of your survival. And people eat death caps and such by accident. They don't always die, but they do get knocked for 6. Apparently death caps taste really nice as well, so so go by taste. They do look good, look nice and brown. Apparently that floury smell diminishes with cooking. So some people don't like it, but I find it quite pleasant. It's like pastry to me. Who doesn't love a bit of pastry? I think that'll do. Let's turn that off. Have a little taste. No seasoning this time, just pure mushroom. Oh, bloody hell. They're tasty. You get that bit of pastry to it, like flouriness. Also mushroom. Nice buttery salt flavour too from the butter, which is salted, obviously. Yeah, really good. Excuse me, talking with my mouthful. Yeah, they're really good. No pepper needed, no extra salt, just plenty of butter. I'd say maybe add some garlic. Garlic mushrooms are always good. But they're really quite meaty. Now, okay, last one. Now we wait and see what happens to me. in my last video. At least I'll die full. Well, I'm going to eat after this because that's not going to film me, but you know. Very nice. I'll get those again. Good thing I got a whole bowl. So, that's the St. George's mushrooms.
Hey DJ, give me a beat. It's the Lion Brew Show. I cook too. Do some gardening and foraging stuff. Terrible raps. Like, subscribe, and all that crap.